Wrap around the house. I wanted to do a quick video on Loctite versus Flex glue. Fortunately or unfortunately, I got the pleasure of dealing with both of these products because a pool that I bought at Menards failed 3 times, so I finally gave up the ghost. These are scraps from that pool, which is garbage. So what I wanted to do is do a quick video. Anything that I use will be down underneath in the comments or in the description for you to buy. Loctite, just vinyl, plastic, and fabric. Stuff works great. It's fabulous stuff. These are scraps from that pool, which is garbage. So what I wanted to do is do a quick video. Loctite, just vinyl, plastic, and fabric. Stuff works great. It's fabulous stuff. Flex glue works really good too. Now with Flex glue, this is from the summer, this tube. Now when you're done using it, make sure to put a little Vaseline on there to keep the air from getting to it. I opened this up this morning and it is still very pliable. So what we're going to do is we are going to put Flex glue on this one. We're going to put the vinyl Loctite fabric and plastic glue on this one. Then we're going to put a weight on top of it and give it 24 hours. And we are going to see how strong that bond really is. Now keep in mind, this you cannot use underwater. This you can use underwater and it works good, but man, you've got to use a lot of it because it doesn't stick very well to vinyl. So, without further ado, let's pop this. Oof, there we are, popped a hole in it. I'm going to do this one last because it stinks. It smells like very, very similar to your PVC glue. It might be the same active chemical that you do not want to get on your hands or breathe too much. So we're going to put the Flex glue on first. Now if you find your Flex glue is a little hard to squeeze out, this isn't, you can warm it up in some warm water and it'll come out a lot easier if it gets a little cold. So we're going to squeeze some of this on. Not a lot, just a little bead like that. And again, make sure to put a little Vaseline around there to keep the air from getting at your Flex glue, and otherwise it'll dry it out, just like any kind of caulk. You know, if you have any caulk, you want to keep the air from getting to it so that it won't wreck it. All right, so let's put this one together lightly, and then we will put the weight on it in a moment. Let's take that off camera, put it over there. Now for the stinky stuff. This does not take a lot either to work. Just put a little bead. I don't know how well that's going to show up on camera, but just a little bit, maybe a 1/4 inch bead and maybe a 1/16 inch tall. We're just going to put that together. Now I don't suspect this one's going to grab at first because it's so liquidy. The Flex glue is almost like a toothpaste. See this? See how that grabs? This one, well, actually, you know what? I'm surprised. It grabbed pretty good. So those are out of the way. And I also just wanted to do a very simple glue on this one as well. I just want to do a separate one with a different, this is more of a lap. This is just going to be like a seam. We'll just do a regular seam right here. Same thing, just like a 1/4 inch. Apply just a 1/4 inch of the glue, and then we'll push it together like that. Try not to get it on your fingers because it'll go right into your bloodstream, of course. Okay, that's good. Put it over there. And we'll take our Flex glue and do the same thing. And again, we're going to wait 24 hours. I got to get a better handle on that. I got to squeeze some of it. The tube's almost empty. Just like that. And we're going to get rid of that. And put her together. Just like that. And this one I'm just going to squeeze together like that. And get rid of the extra dribble and drobble right there. It's all gone. It's on my finger. See, you don't want to get it on your fingers, so get that mess off of there. Look at this stuff. It's like, I don't know if you've ever worked with pipe dope for when you put pipe together, like boiler pipe. That's what this stuff reminds me of. It just is so sticky, and look at that. It gets everywhere. So yeah, make sure to wipe it off if you get it on and wash your hands when you're done. Don't go making any food right away. All right, that's it. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a weight on this for 24 hours, come back, and we will see what happens. fact, this is what we're going to put on it, just like that. Nothing fancy. Then I'll put a little 10-pound weight on top and we'll see what happens. So we will come back in 24 hours and see how this looks. All right, today is tomorrow. Let's see what we have. Again, this is for the flex glue and for the Loctite. This is the flex glue that I just put together and just lightly squeezed and let sit overnight. Let's see what we have as far as a bond. Yeah, see, not that great. The flex glue just did not, it's been 24 hours, it's still a little tacky, but it just didn't really grab all that well. Now this is the Loctite, and that grabbed a lot better. And again, this is just putting a bead on and dropping it in and just squeezing it together. There was no pressure applied to either one of these. So both of these failed, but I would give the Loctite a lot better marks just because it held a lot. It took a lot more to rip them apart. Not scientific, but pretty accurate. You can see what happens. All right, let me get this heavy piece of aluminum out of the way. And this again, ooh, it's stuck to the board nice. That comes off pretty easy too. See, the flex glue is more of a, it crumbles really easy. It's not very firm. All right. So we will try to, we'll take a look at the flex glue first. So here's a flex glue. Let's pull it, see what happens. That's pretty strong. I'll tell you what, that's pretty doggone strong. I don't know if you can see, but right here, we actually have pieces of wood that it pulled off of this little piece of board. So it even adhered to the board pretty well. Let's see how strong. Let's see. There's nothing there as far as ripping strength. And it's still pretty tacky. It didn't really cure all the way, and it's been 24 hours. It sticks to the skin a little bit too. Alright, so it held, but it's not going to, you're not going to have a problem ripping that apart. Now this is the Loctite, and you saw the 1/4-inch bead that I put on there yesterday. Let's see. First, let's see if we can tear it apart. No, there's no way. That's not going to come apart. So let's see if we can just tear it. Get underneath here, and yeah, see, we can do that too. Now, if you look, you can, well, I don't know if you can see this, but there is a little bit of separation of the material. It did grab and mix with the material a little bit. I don't really know how fair it is for me to do a test or a pull on it like this to rip it apart. That's a pretty aggressive test. This works really well to patch your pool. This works really well to patch your pool if there's a hole that's under the water. Obviously, this Loctite does not work underwater. You can't use it. This you can, and this acts, I guess I'll describe it, it's like a gasket. It's more of a gasket than anything else. When I had a leak in the pool, we had a seam that broke loose, I just had to smear this stuff all over the place, put the new patch on, and leave it. It didn't really adhere. What it did is it just kind of stuck to both sides and just was a gasket, and the weight of the water held it in place. So if I have a leak in the pool and there's water, you're kind of forced to use flex glue. Now if you have the opportunity to repair it while it's not underwater, this stuff works fabulous. This stuff works really fabulous. It's a lot harder to rip it apart. It forms a lot better seal, or it mates a lot better. It's a lot harder to pull apart. Hap for Hap Around House. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.